Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. Beautiful deep divers, we are out here in the heart of nature, baby. I hope your day is going good. Or is it starting to look a little bit gloomy for you? Dark days, yes? Deep divers, do you ever sometimes wake up feeling like, oh my gosh, the world looks so bleak right now. You're in a really dark place. How to turn your dark days into beautiful sunsets. Let's just, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. That's the question that came in. So right now on the planet, we are experiencing huge energetic shifts. A lot of people are going through their awakening. A lot of people are leaving their job. A lot of people are embarking on a new beginning. And sometimes you got to go through those dark days first. And we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello? First and foremost, shout out to everybody who's been getting the good ass prana shirts. ralphsmart.com/clothes. Shout out to you. So let me share with you what's helped me along my journey, how I turn my dark days into beautiful sunsets. First of all, you have to realize that darkness is not a bad thing. Okay? Light is not a good thing. They are both necessary. Slow motion this side. You actually come from the dark womb. The universe is comprised of dark matter. So we are in a very dark universe, okay? In esoteric sciences, they teach that darkness actually contains light. Look around. Look at the soil. It's dark, but all the colors come from it, okay? So in our darkest days, we can find the light because inside the dark, there is light. So don't be worried about dark days. Everybody is going to go through a dark day at some point. Even the cat down the road. I know what it's like, deep divers. Sometimes you wake up, everything feels so gloomy, but I'm here to tell you, this too shall pass. Those dark days will not last forever. But when you are going through them, don't view them as a negative. View them as a transformative process. In other words, the metamorphosis. You see it everywhere in nature, from a caterpillar to a butterfly. There's something in that process when the caterpillar is turning into a butterfly called apoptosis. The caterpillar's like, hey, I'm gonna be out of here soon. It's going through a very dark period of its life, or end of its life, okay? But it's actually being reborn. And apoptosis is called cell death. All the cells are dying in the caterpillar. Its time's up. However, they're now transforming the magical cells, okay, into the butterfly. So realize this is a process of change which is needed so you can become a beautiful butterfly. Yes, okay? It's not a bad thing. Everybody needs to go through dark days to actually find out who they are. What? Slow motion this side. But Ralph, I've got no job. I can't pay my rent. I've got relationship problems, financial problems. So many problems, Ralph. I know what it's like. 99 problems. Don't be the 100th one. Don't turn on yourself. This is a time to remind yourself you got to be gentle with yourself. You're doing the best you can. When you're going through a very dark period, you want to become your best friend at this moment. That's how you're going to get through it. You see, a lot of people, when they're going through dark days, what happens? They start drinking, they start smoking, they start becoming very self-destructive, thus making it worse. This is the time where you really want to hug yourself. I'll give you a hug because I'm nice like that, right? You want to get a hug from the cat down the road. You want to be kind to yourself. You want to see yourself in a positive way. You want to talk to yourself in a better way. Okay, and the more love you give yourself, the more you turn a dark day into a beautiful sunset. In other words, you become an alchemist. Now, when you learn how to respect the darkness, darkness is not a negative. Light is not a positive. Like I say, they're both needed. When you can learn how to transcend the duality of good and bad, light and dark, you realize it's all the same thing. It's just how you view it. Your perception of it makes it what it is. So when I was going through a very dark period of my life, I thought, gosh, the world is turning in on me. I wasn't happy with society. I wasn't happy with the life I was living. I had to realize there was a lot inside of me I didn't really want to see. This is what we call our shadow side. Every one of us on planet Earth has a shadow side. And our shadow side is full of unresolved issues, things about us we are always trying to hide. We don't want to see. We're trying to brush it under the carpet. Well, it's time. Brush it under the rug. Right? It's time to what? Start facing it. Start facing those unresolved issues. Start looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, what do I need to work on? What is making me so unhappy right now? Once again, we can't change what happens to us out there, but we can change how we respond to it. We can change our internal condition. That's our power. So when you learn, and I had to learn how to fall in love with my shadow side, all of my flaws, my imperfections, perfect imperfections, right? You are wonderful, baby. Now, you start to turn those dark days into beautiful sunsets. At the same time, you're not in resistance to those dark days. You actually welcome them because it actually means you're going through a beautiful metamorphosis. What? Slow motion this side. I'm like, give me more rain. Give me more thunder. This is what I work with. I'm an alchemist, baby. These are the tools of transformation. You see, the light is also the deception because you are blinded by the lights. In our darkest moments, we become illuminated. That's why a lot of sages, magicians, they always wear black. Okay, when I used to make a lot of videos in my garden, I would always wear black, and I still wear black. I love black. I love the darkness. The darkness is beautiful. When you realize you came from the dark womb, darkness is your home, as well as light. It's all the same thing. It's energy. Okay, so don't think a dark day is bad. Don't think that being sad is bad. It's okay to have a dark day. Let me repeat that. It's okay to have a dark day. We're living in a world of social media where everybody wants to take a selfie and pretend that their life is so wonderful. It is wonderful, but you did have a dark day last week. I was there to film it. Yes, you did, right? And that's okay. Why don't you document that to the world? Ralph, I can't do that. It's not popular. Exactly. That's why you are afraid of these dark days. That's why you don't want these dark days. Allow yourself to feel pain. Allow yourself to go through this struggle. Allow yourself to sit with these emotions of negativity, guilt, trauma. Embrace the dark side. Let me repeat that. Embrace the dark side. Embrace the darkness. The darkness is the power, right? That's how you transform dark days into beautiful sunsets. Because if you can embrace a dark day, it's now a beautiful sunset. Can you see how both of them are intertwined? Nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. How to turn your dark days into beautiful sunsets. Stars can't shine without darkness. So when we're going through these dark days, deep divers, how many times have you had a light bulb moment in your darkest moments? You start to become more intimate with yourself. You start to develop more sensitivity. So thank the universe for your dark days. Thank you, universe, for all of these hard times, because it's actually showed me how strong I am. What? Slow motion this side, slow motion this side. Thank the universe for your dark days, because it's actually showed you how strong you are. Stars cannot shine without darkness. A lot of people who are always smiling like myself, I've gone through some dark days, but I'm an alchemist. I welcome it. Bring it on. Plus, I'm a Pisces, right? So, I'm a water sign. I'm a healer. I'm a wizard. To turn dark days into beautiful sunsets, realize there's something called rites of passage, right? There is something called rites of passage. Rites of passage. In ancient times, in Africa, South America, Indus Valley, even in Europe, everyone was going through a rites of passage, okay? When boys were at a certain age, now they had to be groomed to become a man. Same thing for women. In a lot of African cultures, there were ceremonies, rituals to welcome you into womanhood, into manhood. It still goes on today. It's called rites of passage. So if you are going to turn these dark days into beautiful sunsets, you have to go and embrace the rites of passage. For me, the rites of passage for starting Infinite Waters was to go through these dark days. In other words, this was initiation, where I wasn't being kind to myself. The world was so gray and gloomy. But after that, a beautiful sunset came. But you have to get initiated into the darkness before you see that beautiful sunset. So don't be afraid of these dark days. Say, what can I learn from them? What's the lesson here? Instead of reacting to them, let me start learning how to respond to them. Let me breathe in that good ass prana, baby, and that will help me deal with it. So it's no longer a dark day. It's no longer gonna hold me back. I can turn this whole thing around. It's never too late for that. 7-day vegan challenge. Shout out to everybody who is popping grapes in their mouth right now, getting those antioxidants in, right? A lot of us, when we're going through dark days, and it's happened to me along my early journey, we sometimes skip meals, right? We sometimes don't take care of ourselves. No, this is the time where you have to practice self-care when it comes to food. Start eating the best. Start feeding yourself beautiful acai bowls, beautiful lentils, kale, spinach, okay? Arugula, pumpkins, butternut squash, cabbage, watermelons, figs, Brazil nuts, almonds. Yeah, have it all in this time because you need it. You need it now more than ever. But many of us, when we're going through a very dark day, we start eating foods which share a similar vibration to what we are feeling inside. So that's the power of alchemy. If you're going through a very dark day, go and buy the best green juice smoothie in the world. Pears, kale, apple juice, okay, limes, all of that stuff, okay? Put it in there, some celery. And what you're gonna find is that you're gonna be able to transform this situation just by drinking this beautiful green juice. Food is information. When you are downloading amazing information from beautiful plant-based foods, it will give you a new insight into how to deal with that problem. Slow motion this side. So eat the best. Eat the best, right? That's so essential. How to turn your dark days into beautiful sunsets. One thing to smile about today, okay? Because a lot of us, we drown in our sorrows. We feel sorry for ourselves. Like for me, I'm like, cancel the pity party, Ralph. Like that's how I really stopped being brought down by dark days. And I transform this into beautiful sunsets. Because I'm like, I'm gonna cancel the pity party. Instead of spending 5 hours feeling sorry for yourself, you can actually spend 5 hours to go for a walk. a long walk, a really long walk, a 5-hour walk, right? And all of a sudden you start to feel better because you're exercising now, you're moving your body right now, you're getting a healthy body mind experience, right? So cancel the pity party and then find one thing to smile about. It could be your dog, it could be that you're alive. That's something to be grateful for. That's something to be smiling about, right? One thing to smile about. Maybe it's a friend you know who's always been there for you, and all of a sudden it's taken your focus off these dark days, and now you've got something to smile about. But actually, going back to really embracing your shadow side, there is a benefit of actually focusing on your darkness. However, now it's time to find one thing to smile about. So now that is what is in the forefront of your awareness. Actually, I can smile about going home and a whole bunch of grapes is waiting for me, right? How to turn your dark days into beautiful sunsets. Realize it happens to the best of us. All of us go through this. Every single human being goes through this, right? But the difference is how each one responds. So realize your power is in your response, how you deal with the situation. And let me just say this, that once you have one thing to smile about, find one thing to be thankful for. Okay, what are you thankful for? I'm thankful because I'm alive. Always start your day like that. I'm thankful because I can go outside, I can move my body. Life could be worse. Some people didn't wake up today. Some people are in horrendous situations. So no matter how bad you think your life is, get out there and start talking to other people and realize you're not in this alone. But I am, Ralph. Maybe you are. But realize this is a chance for you to show the universe what you are truly made of. What you are truly, truly made of. How to turn your dark days into beautiful sunsets. Deep divers, what's helped me along my journey is to find one thing that you can be compassionate towards yourself about, right? So you have to practice self-compassion to turn your dark days into beautiful sunsets. You have to practice self-acceptance to turn your dark days into beautiful sunsets. You have to practice self-love to turn your dark days into beautiful sunsets. If you don't practice those, you're only gonna turn in on yourself. So every single day I'm like, what can Ralph Smart be compassionate to? I can be compassionate to myself. It starts by being gentle with yourself. It starts by realizing that you're not finished. Your story is not finished yet. You are work in progress. That's how to turn dark days into beautiful sunsets. Realize this is only one chapter of a story. Okay, like you're reading chapter 2 right now. Everything is crumbling, Ralph. Thunderstorms, hurricanes, it's going really bad. But what about wait till you get to chapter 5. So realize your story is not over. And this experience, this dark day does not define you. Don't let it steal your happiness today. Realize you can rise above it, okay? But it only happens when you're like, actually, it's just a phase. It's just part of my story. It's not my whole story, okay? So realize when we are talking about transforming dark days into beautiful sunsets, it's an attitude. Everybody is going to face something that's really going to put them to the test. However, we get through it when we start to change how we see darkness. We start to change how we see light. We start to realize it's all the same thing. Ultimately, we have to smile. We have to find one thing to be happy about today. Do something you love today. And the more gratitude you cultivate, the more your frequency and vibration will rise. And then, well, you just say, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello there? Wonderful deep divers. You are amazing. We are just, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Ultimately, realize this. Whenever you are going through a very dark period in your life, it's what we call the dark night of the soul. You are being reborn into something new. Allow. Don't be in resistance to, because the caterpillar said it was the end. The rest of the world saw a butterfly and said it was the beginning. What? Slow motion this side. Have a beautiful day, deep divers. You are amazing. Infinite waters. Diving deep once again. Stay well. Stay healthy. Peace. You! Shout out to everybody getting the good ass Prana shirts. ralphsmart.com/clothes. Dark days, bring them on. I love the darkness. I love the light because I am the light. I am the darkness.